Trump won. I don't know if Trump really won or safety, security, finances, economy, border issues actually won. So, and won fairly decent, it looks like. Um, Popular vote also. Yeah, so of course the funnest part, that's awful, it's kind of tedious, but the funnest part is watching the aftermath. MSNBC, CNN, Fox, I don't go to Fox much, any of those extreme media or news outlets. I always said if Trump did anything good, it was calling out the news in general, being biased, misleading, cut and pasting all the time. I mean, even Fox, shows like The View. Okay, it's just for ratings. I mean, they can't be that ignorant. Can we say that about them? I guess they call everybody else that, ignorant, sexist, racist. That's extremely entertaining. Yeah, the popular vote, electoral vote, Trump's Trump. He hasn't wavered, really. I mean, he lies. I see exaggeration most of the time, rather than lies, or just BS lies that, I don't care about. I mean, I do in the background, kind of. I mean, we all have morals and all that stuff, and whether you guys admit it, many of you guys, especially on the left, and of course they think the world's going to burn. It didn't burn before. I know that doesn't indicate this time it won't, but wars, border issues, the whole gender thing, I don't want to go there. I have respect for everybody and stuff, but they just talk about kids. That's where it gets me. It's when it hits the whole kid thing, And what's a kid? Well, 5 years old. When they're born, 7 years old, 10 years old. Books and in schools and this and that. So, yeah, that's kind of a worthless video. I know. I was just doing a toy video. But point being, a lot of people voted for Trump or voted for those main points they kind of care about. And like I mentioned it, the economy, inflation, safety and security. One thing that popped up a lot is these entertainers. So I refer to them as elitist entertainers. So, and I'm a movie fan, absolutely, hands down. Movie fan, TV fan. Music's not as big anymore, but still, love these actors. And I never said it affect me. They're entertainers. They have their opinions, but boy, did they grandstand this time. A few times, okay, and then they just kept coming. I think Kamala basically had a $900 million party for a few months with all these people. I think she had a ball. But man, I think that when Oprah spoke that last time, we'll go back to Michelle Obama, who I kind of liked and stuff, but then the DNC speech, and I get it, I mean, they go off the rails a little bit and push it for showmanship. I mean, that's what Trump does. But racism, I mean, Michelle, I'm like, oh, that kind of hurt. And then, but anyway, back to, the last thing was Oprah coming on again after some other elitist entertainers. I'll keep going back to that, lecturing us and about females, about color. I mean, all that seems to separate us more by bringing it up. The obsession with race and gender. See, I'm doing it now. On the left, or Democrats in general, just seems to be like, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. If you're white, again, there I go. But that did it for me. And when Trump won, I actually stayed up. I'm not a nighttime person, so but I stayed up, and then Kamala didn't come out, and I don't blame her. I mean, people go off and say, "Oh, coward." No, no, she has a hard time thinking or talking off the cuff, which a lot of us do. But she was going to be president, or she's been vice president. So I don't. Yeah, take your time, let it sink in. It's kind of a hard hit, slap in the face, especially with the margins. Black people, the Latinos, the women vote, just the general population vote. I mean, all across the board. You look at that map. I mean, if you blink, you don't see any blue on the map. But so her coming out the next morning to do it, or the next day, and I kind of watched it, but I was expecting Oprah to actually come out and give her speech. Was that silly? Maybe, but it was a thought. Oh, Oprah will probably just come out and give a speech, or maybe Taylor Swift will stand up and say, "I know you love my songs," and mostly about heartache, breakup, and that stuff, but I know you guys deal with safety, security, finances, the border issues, the same way we do. That's what I heard these people saying. So we all know that's not true. So I don't know if it really affected other people. And I mean, even I'm forgetting all. It seemed like a lot of them came out and was just lecturing us, basically, or saying, "Hey, you're awful. You're awful in a sense if you're thinking of Trump or Trump's views." Or you're just discarding the BS he kind of said off the cuff, and Michael Keaton. I mean, I'll never look at Batman again, 89 Batman. Are you kidding me? So, so again, I feel bad that, Taylor Swift comes on the radio. I switch the channel. I'm like, whoa, keep it separate, Jim. Yeah, it affected me a lot. So maybe I kind of dislike that Kamala person for doing that more, so pushing that. I mean, Cardi B. Anybody see Cardi B get up there and talk? Not a fan of hers, but then she gets up there, and you saw what happened. We're not all speakers, but that was kind of a big event and planned event, and yeah. So the point of this video. No point. I'll get hit for my opinions and stuff. I mean, I grew up not all that wealthy at all. My grandparents were immigrants on one side, and just struggled, worked my butt off through community college, paid for it. I have 3 girls, there's a wife, and I don't have to get too personal, but double shifts at the hospital, and worked my butt off and stuff. Okay, seemed, pretty stressful, almost 30 years. And I think part of the Democratic Party there, I mean, things were kind of bad. I mean, in many ways, but not terrible if you push through. I mean, and obviously a lot of that fell, it's not the one person's administration that causes everything. People jump on that. No, I get it, but then we try and band-aid stuff, especially towards the end of the run there with Kamala and Biden. Like, oh, now let's do something about the border, because I get it. Things, most people don't like it, so we'll adapt. Okay, good. A little late. And of course, there's other things in that bill, and that's how all bills are and stuff. And then promising to just give out money. Not big on that. I think I will be when I retire or get older. Yeah. Everybody else pay more taxes. Not just the top 1% or 10%. Those big business people that actually create all these jobs and opportunities and all this stuff. I mean, we won't go there. I mean, there's pros and cons. None of us like rich people, as I was saying, the elitist entertainers that rely on us. And we do get goods from them, entertainment, not tangible, but back to the point. Yeah, giving out money. Sure. Hey girls, I want them to pay for half your houses, but still plan on working to get what you get and pay your dues. I'd kind of like to see them attack the reasons why houses are up or why colleges crazy up, on why people spend so much on the credit cards. Oh, let's dictate these credit card companies. Pieces of work, mind you, I'm sure, but let's tell them you need to not charge as much in fees. And so, why are they racking up fees? Can they cut back on stuff for one thing, not just prices being high and stuff? But yeah, here girls, or kids or young people who they kind of flock to, we're going to pay for part of your houses, which in turn would raise house rates, I'm sure, and cause all sorts of problems. But printing all that money is not going to do well, right? Small businesses, which many, if not most, I don't know, fail. Well, it doesn't matter, but still, giving them $50,000 to start up, where are you getting all that money from? Oh, taxpayers. What's the other thing? Oh, paying for colleges. There we go again. Instead of saying, we need college costs to kind of come down. We get it, teachers' wages and benefits, etc. We won't go there, but that's part of it. But making the schools look nice, whatever. It's extremely high. So, but yeah, let's band-aid it. Let's just pay for it. So, the wars. Got to be careful there. We're funding all these wars across the world for democracy, our view of democracy. And we're afraid that, if they take over and negotiate this part of Ukraine, I guess, or a little part or something or other, then they're going to move on and take over Australia. I don't know. Another country or us or something or other. But no, let's keep kind of funding them. Weapons, people, we don't hear about people and stuff, the military and this and that, but there's got to be people involved. But tons of people are dying. I mean, that's death over and over again that we're contributing to, probably not making good with Russia, You can pick this video apart. There's going to be, we all can't know everything. So this is what I'm telling you. Everybody's, I don't understand how Trump could win. Well, this is where my head's at. So Trump, whatever. Yeah, negotiate something with these people. It's BS, but that's business. Otherwise, things keep going, right? We're supposed to listen and give and take. Of course, no one agrees on what's giving and taking, but they're taking a lot of lives in these wars. The Middle East been on fire since I remember high school when they started putting videos in the classroom. I forgot what that was called, but you guys know back in the 80s, late 80s or early 90s. Everything's been burning over there, and it's just a bad circle. I know there's no answer. I don't think the U.S. needs to give most of everything to NATO, to these countries or whatever. I know many of us are Christians or giving or extremely caring, but how much do you give or contribute? So, with Trump and his exaggerations, grandiose standing, sometimes it's making a point, like, hey, let's rethink this a little bit, because otherwise we just continue. So, the border, okay, he just can't have everybody come in, and they're not saying that. They'll say that. I'm not saying that. Well, you kind of were saying it until the very end. Trump, let's deport 11 million immigrants. I think we all know that's not happening, okay? I think they're going to hit these people that stand out. Traffic stops, crimes. I mean, they're not going in basements. Nobody thinks that's feasible, but it was the point. We got a lot people here. We need to deal with it better. Security, and what's Trump going to do with the wall? The wall's a small part. You guys can think all you want. That's a small part. So there's other rules and laws and turning people away, and can still care. Anyway, touchy subject. I think the main point I wanted to make about this is entertainers just blew me away this time. So I'm not sure what Democrats are thinking. The abortion issue, I think that's mostly what, that's the Achilles heel of the Republican Party, conservatives. Trump actually, of anything, he's actually lightened up on. Otherwise, he hasn't really wavered. Whether right or wrong, he hasn't really wavered on what he thinks, tax cuts for everybody. I know the wealthy and shit, but we'll go back down that road where they're the ones that do everything and innovate and all this stuff. Okay, it's to an extreme, but what's to an extreme? Where do you cap it off? Well, they should be taxed the same as us. Well, aren't people under $30,000 a year, or I don't even know that number anymore, they don't pay taxes off? Oh, well, they shouldn't. Well, why not? And my dad's always said, just a straight tax. I mean, whether you make $10,000 a year or $1 billion a year. So, what else can I rant about to get some of you guys riled up and stuff? So, the point is, Trump won. We don't know what will happen per se. We have a good idea. Maybe he is going to go psycho. I mean, that's what the left says. Oh, yeah, forget the first 4 years, and he didn't do that great. Well, it was decent in many ways. I mean, I don't have to repeat all the crap, but COVID came along. COVID was an unknown in the beginning, just like back in the 80s when AIDS came about. You didn't know. Now we can say, oh, people were crappy and stupid and all this stuff because they thought toilet seats and door handles were, passing this disease along. COVID, we didn't know. I mean, the world was ending. Everybody was dying, is what they were saying. And, this miracle vaccine, not technically a vaccine, we won't go there. We won't go medical, okay? Not everybody knows everything in these specialties. But it wasn't handled extremely well, but easy to say afterwards. But then it obviously became political, and definitely for that next administration, hey, we need to shut down the world or everybody's going to die. Is that going to get struck on YouTube or something? It's exaggerating, but I'm telling you, of course, I got on Trump about the bleach comment, kind of. I guess if you're not medical, you can take it wrong, but he was just saying a chemical that would just kill this thing in your body like antibiotics would. There were studies about ultraviolet light and this and that, but I got what he meant. He meant. I mean, he didn't go to school, nursing school, medical school, or anything like that, and even schooling doesn't say a whole lot. We know that. It's experience and this and that, but still. So that stuff just got out of hand, and the Fauci, but I kind of lumped that end of Trump's thing and beginning of Biden's thing, for the most part, under the unknown, kind of made things different. So, in a year from now, I'd watch this video and say, you're a little off, Jim, but depends on how the economy's going. I don't know. So I'm having a ball watching some stuff now, BS on both sides. I just know I voted for those handful of things. The economy, energy here, this and that, cut back on, my big thing, and they don't talk about it much, cut back on the spending of government everywhere. The Department of Education, I know Trump's going to take it away. I think it's exaggeration saying, well, yeah, we need to revise it. My brother's a teacher, and he's like, yeah, he's bitched for years, He hasn't been one of those teachers to strike every year. That was my joke. Like, you guys strike like every year. I said, your benefits, like, blow me out of the water. Your pay's not that much different than mine once you get up there. It depends on the area. We won't go there. No offense, teachers. Department of Education could be revised, redone, save some money here, there. People talking about golden toilets being put in or whatever. So that's where a lot of the money should come to help fund these tax breaks. And if it was Kamala, the colleges and the small businesses and the home stuff, and hey, I want to give everybody money more towards the socialism type realm, but cut back in spending instead of, oh, yeah, Elon Musk, you stinking genius, greedy, whatever. Yeah, we're going to take more from you, or equal, as they say. They pay more. They pay more out, whether it's taxes. They pay most of the taxes as a lump sum, I guess, which is logical. Then the rest of the population, that top 1%, still not a percentage or equal, I guess, or how do you want to put that? But they give back to the community. Yeah, they're making money off of it, but all of what Elon's done, or all these people that run everything, Google, jobs and opportunities and technology. So all that's valuable. It's not like money. It's not the coins, But I want to be working where I'm working unless the CEO is making for it or whatever. I don't want to say a number. Making a ton, but is that too much? And are they paying their fair share? I love that. What's fair share? Well, they don't need anymore. Well, I had that conversation with a friend yesterday who I love to death, but extremely left-leaning liberal, which is fine, but he's like, brought up about giving money to, certain groups of immigrants. I don't know details there. But he's like, so why wouldn't everybody else get it? And then he looked, he's like, well, you don't need it. That about floored me. The whole need thing is like, well, need? What do you mean? You don't need your Social Security. Well, how do you know? Well, that just kind of told me there. No. What's need there? So people that have worked 30 years, sacrificed. Not everybody thinks the same, or intelligence-wise, common sense, formal education, which they make a big deal, to save and sacrifice. Right? I don't do Apple stuff. I had a flip phone, probably the last person on earth. No, I actually had a person the other day, patient had a flip phone. Pretty cool. Not the newest cars, ever. This and that, but I saved in retirement. Stock market run by wealthy people, not me. And it's done overall well. I mean, that's how you do it, right? And you sacrifice. But since I have that, the wife and I have that backup, still taking care of our girls, picking up side jobs even besides our work and double shifts for years. So we don't need our Social Security in the next 5 years. I don't know when we're going to retire. It's the whole health insurance, health costs. We won't go there, but so I don't need it. So that's always a fear that they could say, hey, you don't need it, so we won't give it to you, or we'll cut back on yours and give it to these people over here that didn't have as good a luck or morals or drive or opportunity. I know there's a lot of variables. Did I get lucky? Did other people get lucky? And I get it. I mean, we all get it. So we just got to take life as a lump sum in all these categories and make our decisions. Okay, but Democrats or the left or liberals, labeling and stuff. You gotta maybe back off of saying the other half, or now 55% or whatever it is. You're stupid, you're ignorant, or you're not, and you just don't vote the way we want to vote, or you don't understand, or those entertainers fall into that, saying, hey, no, even though the majority kind of went this way, they don't really mean it, or they're ill-informed, or they're believing the wrong stuff online. They can't think for themselves. Towards the end, Obama, Oprah, I know they're people of color, but wow, you're really hitting your race. See, now I'm dividing by using this language. You're really dividing by saying, yeah, you guys don't know what you're thinking or talking about if you don't vote for us. I mean, even Biden said that, but Biden's Biden, and he's white, so maybe that don't count. But if you don't vote for us, you're not black. I'm like, you don't keep talking that way. You bring up race all the time, then I don't want to see color. I know you say, oh, people just say that. I'm like, I don't really want to see color or gender, and then people make the misconception that we're not different. We are different because of color. I mean, just general, but it doesn't mean it's racist or sexist. So I didn't like Kamala. She seemed fake, repetitive. She flipped on pretty much everything, which again is fine, but it just didn't seem real. The lies about Trump, not calling out exaggerations more so, but actual lies, pretty much hurt. National abortion ban, a lot of us are, oh, I better be careful there. So I'm pro-choice voting. I'll say it out loud. We won't go too in-depth there, so there's not going to be no national abortion ban. Doctors aren't going to let women die, as far as I know. I mean, doctors I know, if there's an emergency or situation. I think what hurt the Democrats too is they wanted to put a cap on abortion, 9 month, 8 month, but I get it. You got to be careful how are you going to defend that then? Touchy subject. So, but yeah, that's it. So I don't think people favoring the right or Republican side are all ignorant, not thinking through things. I don't think they all love a Hitler person. That really came out. He's a Hitler. I guess it was more Trump's a bad person was the motto there, and rich people suck, and minorities should vote this way just because, and women should vote for women. And I know, I'm generalization there and exaggerating. Obviously, a woman president, sure, why not? That sounds bad. No, absolutely. Who's that? Tulsi Gabbard, who I just love. I don't like all the idea. Holy cow, straightforward, honest, real. I'm sorry, there's that feeling you get from people as being real. And even Hillary I respected being strong and stuff. So I think what sunk her, deplorables. Deplorables. I think Democrats had that deplorables moment a couple times in the campaign. Yeah, ouch. So what else can I talk about that's meaningful or non-meaningful? So if you got anything out of this, even a quarter of it, and the other 3/4 is BS and I'm a little off, and maybe I'll realize I'm a little off on some other things, but right now I have faith in the country, and there's going to be negatives and stuff, and if Donald Trump deports 2 million of the worst illegal immigrants that are documented criminals, and he lied, I get it, or he's actually awful for doing that because they're human beings. Okay, glass is half empty, and if we drill and try to make good decisions about environment too, and balance that out with what we need energy wise, if we can make some sort of deal on these wars or contribute, because we're not there, it's not our country, but yeah, we should look for the good of the whole world. I mean, we don't want the whole world ending from nuclear and all that stuff, but if we can contribute to say, hey, let's end this one way or another, it's not going to be perfect on both sides, but save money, save lives. Now, the Middle East, I don't believe there's an ending to that. There's no agreement there, I do believe. For Ukraine, there can't be. Maybe I'm a little ignorant about that, not in the politics and of course the leaders of the countries and stuff, but yeah, I like to say something monumental or memorable, but that's it. So anyway, find your peace in life, your happiness, do good by your fellow man next door, value those that work hard, those that can't work hard for some reason, kind of, and like I said, your hobbies and stuff, but earn your keep as much as you can, okay? Excuses, whining, I mean, if you want to protest and hold up traffic and stuff like that and call people pretty bad on the other side, okay, so I'll focus on my distraction stuff here. I'll still take care of people, no matter who they are, color, gender, what have you. And I don't think I'll refer to the other side overall, from where I stand now, as deplorables. So